Roller Coaster by Ginger Murkison. It starts with the climbing in. Nerved up enough for the defiance of gravity, the slow grind, rackety clack, 1-inch clog at a time, the mystery of machinery, the sane and safe weightedness of stiff starch values, wondering if there were sins we committed since our last confession. Then, at the top, out on the edge, beyond the solid ground world parents live in, test life, theirs and our own up, where we are a hole in the sky, wholly abandoned, and the eyes shut, heart stop, drop.
Like lawlessness on falling's crisp speed, the first curve, a blur. The world's suddenness, metal, air, and a prayer, half-mounted, spun, falling onto another plunge. A curve swerving, a tiny boat in a tempest. And isn't this how we want to live? Live higher up, hungry to leave the ground, flinging sparks, the lights brighter, the dark darker, our bodies at war with mere air, but still obedient to the tracks laid down to keep us on track. Riley and I decided to do our project on Ginger Murchison's Roller Coaster, which we just read for you. When we first looked at this assignment and researched poets, Ginger had stood out to us the most. Riley and I had both seen her perform during the first Poetry at Tech Night, which she actually founded and served as its associate director for 5 years. We thought she had a really personable style and was the most passionate about her work. She read her poems with such ease and had a story to accompany each one. We were also impressed with her accomplishments and learned about her feministic side, which she has touched upon in a few of her poems. Obviously, this excited us as being women at an institute and majors where our numbers are very scarce. Overall, we were just really impressed with her and her work.
After we chose Ginger as our poet, we began researching some of her poems. We chose Roller Coaster because we thought that it stood out a lot to us and it was really easy to relate to. She focuses a lot on the emotions of different life experiences, especially the college experience. So in the beginning of the poem, she talks about the journey up the first hill as being nerved up enough for the defiance of gravity. We kind of related that to the first few days before leaving for college. You're really excited, but you don't really know what's going to happen. You're like starting your own life. But then she talks about when you're at the very top of the hill and you're beyond the solid ground world and you're isolated, wholly abandoned. You're isolated your feelings that come with it. And this was like the first few nights at Tech when we were like officially on our own and we felt as though we were in a dream and we had looked forward to all summer. It was finally coming true. But and then finally she describes the way down as a blur, which kind of shows that like so many things happen around you, but there are still obedient tracks to keep you on track.
As exciting as college can be, it is some of the toughest few years of your life, especially at a school like Tech and an engineering degree. Classes can get really overwhelming and you can feel like you're being thrown around with no sense of really what's up or down. Those frantic feelings, being bombarded with due dates and always having something to do are what make college like a roller coaster, but the sensational feeling afterwards makes it all worth it. This poem really made us reflect on our experiences here at Tech and the experiences we're hoping to gain in the future. Overall, life itself is like a roller coaster with many ups and downs, but it's something that everyone experiences. No one is perfect, and just because life doesn't seem to be going your way doesn't mean that it won't pick back up. It's important to stay positive and help those around you.
In terms of its strengths, we believe Ginger did a wonderful job creating a lyrical poem. It may not rhyme or have musical quality to it, but it stirs the emotions. It's a poem that can be connected to a lot of different life events, and therefore very relatable. Ginger cathartically pours out her innermost feelings and is easily able to create a vivid picture. When you're reading it, it makes you feel like you were really there on the ride with her. On a more logistic level, the poem was also like one big sentence with a bunch of commas, but was structured horizontally in a way that was pleasing to the eye and easy to follow along.